for Holgear, Slippery Jack, and Joshua. You all remember the strange events leading up to the... I'm trying to remember if there was a specific name for it. The Harvest Festival, basically, the Fall Festival. You remember the events where you all were imprisoned, and how you escaped captivity, making your way back into the tunnels underneath the city of Need, where you came across a caged creature who helped you break down the doors leading to a crystal. And as you laid your hands upon this crystal, visions of another world enter your mind, and as the crystal began to grow brightly, it suddenly grows very hot, and your hands pull away. Except for Joshua, as he stares deeply into it, and then in a sudden flash, you are blasted off your feet, and you land on the ground. Dazed, nearly dead, you all lay there in pain. And you look over and see Joshua completely charred to stone. The next few moments are hazy and a blur, but are explained later as your savior whisked you away, teleporting you to his sanctum underground. Malachi nurses you back to health, if only to question you on what you were doing, why you did what you did, before succumbing and explaining what's happening. Joshua is still coated in this black substance. Malachi explains that he was petrified, as there was tampering from the other side. And he explains how the artifact that was destroyed in the process of you attempting to use it is connected to another world, and in doing so, you would have been sent to another location where there is an artifact similar to it. But instead, something seems to have happened. He explains the process and how planar travel is difficult and circumstantial. He explains that the artifact that you all came into contact with is the Corcus Spear, which was created similar to the Tower of Babel in attempts to raise from the mortal plane, the material plane, and connect to the realms of the gods. And no one knows exactly what happened, but some say that it failed, but in a way it succeeded, but not in a way that was expected. The spear shattered, and as it pierced through the veil, it is connected to every other plane. But in doing so, sent a ripple that changed the course of events of multiple realities. It is possible, although very dangerous, to pass through the barrier using the catalyst. But in doing so, you may endanger the lives and the stability of the plane that you traverse. Malachi exceedingly warns and continues to explain about how interacting with the lives of yourself in another reality can, in fact, affect yours. He knows all this through research and his own experimentation and failure, although he explains it not from his own experience, but the understanding of other versions of him that have attempted to do so. he has remained here, guarding, watching, and waiting, studying, and explains that the best way to save this reality and the other is to merge them and undo the damage that has been done. After much tiresome explanation, he eventually devises a plan. And while there is no crystal in order to send you back to your dimension, or not to your dimension, but from your dimension to theirs, he folds space backwards and sends you to Tali's dimension. He explains it as a world of Aiden. And as you are transported to the world of Aiden, you find yourself sitting at a table, and all around you, you can see other people. And it's like a dream, where you almost seem to be viewing it from a third-person perspective. But you see yourselves, and you see each other. You see other figures around this table as well, but none of them you recognize and can place, and so their features remain foggy. Holgir and Jack, you sit at this table and devise a plan on how to find the next piece of this shard in order to find your way back to not your dimension, but the dimension of your doppelgangers. And across this table, you see Joshua, but he is motionless and frozen. And eventually you have to move on and wade through this memory, this weird, abstract vision of a world that you can easily move through, but it feels less like your ability to simply walk around and forcing a memory to play out and a perspective that you enjoy. You make your way onto a ship where there apparently is delicate cargo, kind of which that Malachi gives you hints about and you believe to be your target. As Slippery Jack sneaks into the hold, he finds what he is after, but realizing that he is seeing this memory from a third-person perspective. The original him doesn't know what this is exactly, but he, being himself with his own experience, now recognizes what this is. And upon touching it, nothing happens, and he knows that he needs to reroute the information. He needs to get to safety. With Holgir's help, it's brought onto deck. And after a few moments, Joshua comes back into focus, moving around, still the shifting image, the memory version of him, until eventually you manage to get the crystal onto the boat, and as Joshua's foggy memory leaps from the boat after all of you, he begins to solidify into the petrified version that you know is yours. And as the three of you touch the crystal, it shatters again, and you are sent back to your dimension. You arrive in the charred room that you all remember. But the first time that you were there, you had all been laying on the ground, helpless. The doors have been ripped aside, and you know that this is not your world, but the other. You stealthily remove Joshua's body, bring him to the top side, and you make your way back to Malachi. But a different Malachi, who doesn't know you, who seems to be researching and understanding, and after your quick explanation, understands why his dimension is crumbling, why other creatures are slowly slipping through the cracks. He explains the situation, how he's learned and mastered, and it's an interesting understanding of how all these different Malachi seem to be bending their whims in a completely unified yet distinct and separate way of understanding and attempting to fix the dimensional problems. He offers you the help that he can, and he hires an assistant that, Jack, you recognize and remember as one of your fellow compatriots down below in the old city of Need. Her name is Saria, and she is an expert in her contacts and connections. She rarely does work herself, but instead moves things from place to place. But Malachi has a favor on her, and so she has helped you all in this endeavor to maneuver Joshua's petrified body topside, stealthily, quietly. And as you wait, eventually you all do spot your other selves that have come into this dimension against their will. And you realize that this is where you belong. They do not belong here. This is the world that you should have had before they came in and interrupted the natural flow of things. And as they carry Joshua's petrified body to the hospital, you make a daring plan. Joshua's body is moved into the same room, and allowing them to touch, both petrified bodies quickly merge into one. And then there is a shattering as all the stone bits fall away, and Joshua is simply laying there, breathing, as if sleeping. You have to carry him away, and you all must act quickly, quietly, and stealthily. The first thought is to hide the exchange by throwing out the stone bits of Joshua's covering out the window, dropping to the floor below. And for good measure, throwing it onto your doppelgangers in an attempt to dissuade them, but it instead seems to incite them and drive them towards action. Before you can act, the doppelganger of Slippery Jack makes his way upstairs, and by dipping into a side room very quickly, you all avoid detection. Saria steps out and casts a charm on him, allowing you all to exit quickly and quietly, making your way back down to the back alley, where you make your getaway in a small cart. And as you pull away, you look down at the form of Joshua as he slowly raises to consciousness. I am now going to ask both of you, from which perspective would you like to continue playing from? Which perspective do you truly believe is the real you? Or do you care? And rather than asking which of you do you think is the real one, but which perspective would you prefer to continue playing as?
I'm guessing the original one.
Which would be?
The scarred ones, I think.
The ones in the cart or the ones at the hospital?
The ones in the cart, I would think.
I thought
Okay.
the hospital
Is that
were
what
the
you're
original
thinking?
ones.
Yeah, because I liked back when we OG ship heist. That was fun.
Okay, I'm down with that. We can go that route.
Though I'm not entirely certain or confident how this is going to lay out with us playing multiple versions of ourselves in the same
You're only
session.
going to be playing one version. I'm asking you which
Oh,
one you
sick.
want to play. Yes.
I'll play
I would
the
not do
scarred
that to
version
you
of me.
guys.
Okay.
But yeah, I am asking you which ones do you prefer, really. Which ones do you think is the one at fault, I suppose, and who has been wronged? That sort of thing. Because I've had you play as both perspectives. But now that they are coinciding, I was asking which one you prefer. So, you are in the cart rescuing your friend from damage that has been done by another version of yourselves. And while you do not know what the catalyst was for that interaction, why it happened, or what they plan to do now, you do know that you have righted that wrong, and you have merged your Joshua with theirs, and now that he's back with you, you know that he'll recognize you, but whether or not it is your Joshua or not remains to be seen, or whether or not it is a third alteration altogether.
Wouldn't the simpler... Well, I suppose that's more of an in-character question to ask.
Yes.
I was just wondering...
If Joshua were here, I would ask him the very same question. Unfortunately, he is not here at the moment. At this current moment in time, the plan is simple. You are making your way not back to Malachi's base of operations, but to another secret meeting place where you all hope to camp out for a bit, regroup, get back to yourselves. And honestly, you don't know if you trust Malachi, considering that you believe he interacted with the other group that seems to have caused this terrible situation. So, you have gone to a separate meeting place that Malachi does not know about in order to regroup, rethink options, and Saria is still with you, but she's doing this work because after delivering you to your destination, her debt has been paid. She has no specific connection or ties. Jack, you know this. She's a very base-to-base person, gets the job done, and she moves on. A similar situation that you used to be, which is why you are able to understand. But you've now gone through so much with these other two peoples. And the interesting fact about these versions of you three, you do not know about Connor. You have not met Connor. Welcome back. So this Holgear and Jack have not met Connor. Nor have you met Talia. Yeah, so you do not know about those two individuals. And as you are making your escape, Joshua starts to rouse ever so slightly. But Saria climbs to the back of the cart and says, "We have company," and readies her crossbow, loosing a bolt, and you, through the slit in the back tarp, you see a young girl with a weird blade at her side suddenly get pierced in the shoulder and stop for a moment before Saria rushes back to the front of the cart. "We need to speed it up, gentlemen." What do you all do?
Should I reset my HP since this version of Holgear didn't get chunks of Joshua dropped on his head?
Correct.
Okay.
It is at this point that you grant yourself all of your items and equipment and everything, and this version of Holgear has his lucky rock.
Oh, nice.
Because this is your dimension. The doppelgangers have come into this dimension. This is your dimension. This is your home dimension. This is where you should have been. So you
I think
have
we gotta
all
fuck
of your
those
equipment.
doppelgangers up.
Yeah. But currently, Talia is chasing after your cart with a crossbow on her shoulder. You have never seen this person before, but they seem intent on chasing after you. What do you two do? Joshua's still out of commission.
I will use the I'm going to use the message cantrip and ask her why she's chasing us.
Talia, how do you respond? You hear Jack's voice.
Do I recognize Jack's voice?
You
like
do.
this version of him?
Yeah.
No, I say, Jack? Oh, thank God! Where in the heck?
And does Jack recognize?
You do not.
No, he said that Jack and Holgear do not recognize Talia or like this version of those two do not know Talia or Kamala.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will tell Holgear that this person knows who we are. Or at least some version of us.
Why is multiversal travel not simple?
Because it's fun.
Exactly.
You thinking she's probably with the other crew? The doppelgangers?
Is she aiming her weapon at us?
It does not seem so. She's simply running behind your cart. And it's at this point that the cart is actually starting to pick up speed a little bit. So Talia, you are struggling to keep up.
Maybe we should slow down and see what this one wants.
You are currently making your way back behind, similar to how Holgear's family and whatnot live kind of in a higher up section of the city. This is a lower section of the city, still not the underside, the underbelly, but making its way through twisting back roads, leading to an old abandoned connection. Back when the upper and the top side and the original City of Need used to have connections. Basically, what has happened is, as you have now grown to realize, is that whenever the City of Need experienced great benefit, they kept, raising the houses higher and higher, making better and more pompous districts, until eventually the old original City of Need was sort of sealed off. So now you're making your way to one of those checkpoints that's been abandoned, but you also know that you can slip through because no one's guarding it, and it's just sort of like boarded up and abandoned. So, but at this point, you choose to slow down.
It could be
I
so
think we
simple.
probably should. She knows who we are and she's not being aggressive. I mean, she could have just as well took a shot at us as tried to chase us, so.
Sorry,
she does have a crossbow.
Sorry disagrees, because she thinks that interacting with anybody other than simply going from point A to point B is bad news, but she defers to you, as she's simply just accompanying you. As long as we eventually get there, and I can get out of this mess, the better. But, alright. And she peeks up to the front. Alright, slow it down.
Slow down enough for her to catch up.
Okay. So, are you pretending to slow down so that she can catch up, or are you actually stopping?
We should probably just slow down and let her catch up. Not stop.
Yeah.
Oh, so you keep going, but at a slower speed so that she can just catch up.
Right.
Okay, you do so.
Holgear's got a handful of sand in his back pocket, just waiting for her to give her a reason.
Okay. Talia, the cart seems to quicken its pace for a moment, but then it slows down to its previous speed, in which that you are able to catch up to it.
Also,
What do you want, girl?
out of character, quick question.
Yes.
From the OG heist, was the ship named the Stug as well?
The little ship that is Talia's is referred to as the Stuck, yes. The large,
but,
I forget the name of the large ship. Something really ironic, like the Unsinkable or something.
Oh my gosh, really?
Man, not a very good name.
Well, it was
it
was a fantasy version play off of the Titanic or something.
I know.
LOL.
But
not the one.
still, whoever names those ships really needs to get fired.
I was just wondering if we had the Stug in both realities.
Yes.
Nice.
In fact, it seemed like you entered a version of that reality that was probably your doppelgangers, but you helped motivate them through a situation in order to get back to their reality. That's what Malachi did, is that he prompted you in order to enter through the crack that they made when they interacted with your reality in order to make it to Talia's, which is where you all originally would have gone if you had successfully touched the crystal. Something of note, the person pulling the cart is that undead dragon, still chained, unable to remove those spines. But then you also have a fourth person who is just the cart driver. He doesn't know what's inside the cart or anything. And the dragon person has an illusion on them to hide them as a horse.
Nice.
Sorry, the change is a bit dramatic. But Talia, you are pulled inside the cart, and you see Jack on one side, Holgear on the other, Joshua laying on the floor, and at the far end, you see a woman holding onto a crossbow, giving you a glaring look that says nothing.
Okay, first
What's your name, girl?
Okay, first thing I want to do is say, hey guys, Holgear, Jack. Second of all, what the fuck is Joshua knocked unconscious? Third of all, why in the world did you take a fucking pot shot at me?
Saria takes the crossbow and lays it across her lap. In my own personal opinion, it's better that people stay out of business that doesn't belong to them. She glances to Jack and Holgear. But apparently you are involved. So, apologies. Not sorry.
Then she Natalia takes the arrow that's still lodged in her frickin' shoulder, and she just like tears it out of her and says, "Apology accepted." and just drops it onto the ground.
She fetches it.
So, you seem to be under the impression that we know each other. Why?
Well, we should.
Why should we?
Because you're part of my crew.
I need to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually do that as well. So.
Okay, yeah, we can do a quick bathroom break if that's alright.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Sorry.
What do you think, Jack? Go overtly hostile? Or just be more terse than anything?
At the end of a work day where I'm talking a lot, I need to be constantly drinking water.
That's fair.
I have a incredibly small bladder.
Good to know. Good to know.
Sorry. Does anyone have any questions or anything they want to raise to me at the moment?
So the Stug is a universal constant.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose just asking any others would really help.
Well, specifically in Aiden, which is Talia's dimension, Talia's world.
Would I have had my family's, well, not family's sword, but the sword I would usually practice with, having been essentially trained, and they've essentially sent me through the ringer to see if I was good at anything that they wanted me to be good at. Figured I'd just grab a rapier. Felt noble-ish.
The doppelganger of you would have woke up in your family home, so I think he has it. But since you were at jail, you had all your things removed, then were taken to Malachi. Unless you wanted to pull a separate heist and steal it, I'm going to say no, unfortunately.
So this version of me wouldn't have shit then.
But you do
None
have
of
your
the...
rock.
Yeah, I wouldn't have leather armor, no rapier.
I'm going to say that if you want it, especially because you've had time to plan this heist, you definitely would have your starting equipment.
Oh.
You would have just gotten that. I'm just saying that it wouldn't have been your family's rapier. But if you want to have a rapier, you definitely have a rapier.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Right. But you wouldn't have, like, your rapier, your family's rapier. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it's just what I've been trained in. I've only got one set of nice clothes. This version of me did not sell his insignia ring.
Oh, by the way, Jack, if it wasn't clear at this point, Saria is kind of a cut and dry, almost cutthroat, but very business-orientated kind of person that she doesn't really care one way or the other if someone lives or dies, but basically is only on the side of the people who she's working for, and the rest of the world can burn for all she cares.
Right. Yeah, sounds fair.
Welcome back. I think you were in the middle of asking something.
Yeah, I already asked. It's their turn to answer the fucking questions that I asked them.
Please repeat the question.
I said, first of all, I wanted to say hi to Jack and Holgear. Second, why is Joshua laying on the floor like that? And we already took care of the chick with the frickin' crossbow. But you guys also asked me as to why we should know each other, and I said that you were part of my crew. So.
Except we're not. We're not your crew. So, nothing else to be gained. Go our separate ways.
Perhaps. Maybe.
So what kind of crew did we belong to?
Well, what exactly?
Do we understand that there's dimensional shit going back and forth?
I assume
what-
so.
What do you mean?
Well,
Considering
what exactly do I look like to you?
a lady with a weird sword. And a very ominous chuckle.
I am a pirate, good sir.
Sari says, well, yar har fiddly dee. What does that have to do with anything?
They asked what type of crew they were in. Every single one of them were pirates. Or are. No pun intended.
That still doesn't answer the question of why you're still hanging around here. These two gentlemen, including this third one, have business. The cart's been moving this entire time as well. And upon reaching the destination, you're either not going to be here or you're going to be bolted to the floor. And she restrings her crossbow.
To which my sword immediately is in my hand, pointing directly at her. Don't test me.
Make an
darling.
intimidation check.
What?
Make an intimidation check.
Let's go. Natural 25.
She flinches and accidentally snaps the bowstring on her hand, cuts herself a little bit. She just glares at you.
So, you claim to be a pirate, yet we're nowhere near the sea. And you have... what business with us?
Does a pirate need to be at sea to be considered a pirate?
A good one, yeah.
Yes. If you're not on the sea, then you're just considered some, I don't know, highwayman. Just a common thief. So what is it that makes you think that we're part of your crew? What is, what's going down where you're from? You do understand that we don't know you, right?
Well, I guess it's understandable. Yeah.
I thought we were being rather clear on that.
Me and my let me see. There is Holger and Jack and Joshua and then Connor and me. So the 5 of us have been going through some really crazy shit lately.
Who's Connor? Who's this Connor guy? Don't know him either.
Hmm. Don't know. You don't know Connor either? He's the funny one of the group.
I certainly hope so.
He's a comic relief when you need it. I am completely and utterly amazed by that. Well. Well.
So what were we doing as part of your crew back wherever the hell you come from? I mean, were we pirates or?
It's a really long story. And she gets up, and she gets up, and she's like by the door, and he's like, "But if you want to know, but if you want to really know, like really want to know badly, you're gonna." And she flips, and she jumps and flips out of the wagon and makes a bolt and bolt.
I didn't
Can I
understand
cast-
any of that.
She's bolting, and I want to cast the sleep spell after her.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and roll those dice.
What would I have to roll in order to?
You don't roll anything.
Isn't it like double her hit points or something?
He rolls the number of hit points he can affect. So, if she has less hit points than the number that he rolls, she gets put to sleep.
Yeah, so I roll 5d8 and see if I can beat whatever your max hit point is.
I did.
That was a terrible roll for a 15.
How many hit points do you have, Talia?
Like in total, or
Yes.
like right now?
Oh, current hit points, yeah.
Oh, current. Okay. Do I? Did we all get a long rest or whatever?
No, you were
before?
just shot by a crossbow bolt.
I know, but
And
I
you
understand.
also fought a bunch of things, so whatever your
Okay.
current hit points is, yes.
Okay. Well, that's highly unfortunate. I have 13 hit points.
Okay.
Let's go.
Talia, as you leap from the back of the cart, you face plant and are knocked out instantly. Saria turns to you guys. Are we leaving her or are we taking her?
Leaving her would probably be more of a pain. Whatever versions. I don't think we want them finding out, especially if they are her crew.
Saria sighs and crawls to the back of
That's
the
a
cart
good point.
and goes to pick her up.
I'll join her. I'll grab her, grab her legs.
Okay. Yeah, you fish her into the cart. We're not going to cut back. We're going to cut back to Connor now. Connor, you are chasing a string of destiny when you see Holgear and Jack behind you suddenly enter a scuffle with one another. What are you doing?
Connor yells, "Guys, what are you doing?" He runs over and tries to pull them away from each other. And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna prepare to cast a spell on them.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Yes, sir.
12.
What the heck? I feel like that guy has no tires now. Anywho. You got a 12?
Yes, it was like close to a 17, but it was like on the corner of my screen.
Okay. You can
Hate
tell
when that
that
happens.
both you can tell that both Jack and Holgear are very much angry and untrusting of each other, but once you come forward and what are you doing? Just talking to them or do you step between them?
Are there of them like armed with like their swords or daggers?
Jack had just stabbed Holgear and Holgear was about to cast a spell, and you kind of
Jack
come up and
has
stop
his
him.
Connor heals Holgear and stops and tries like stay between them to stop them from doing any more. Dom casts Cure wounds on this on Holgear. Well, how bad is the wound? Let me ask.
Jack, do you remember how much damage he did? Thought it was like 7 or something.
No, I don't.
I was at
That sounds
at
about
9
reasonable.
I was at 19 of 29,
Oh, so he did like 10 damage. Okay.
something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on Holgear then. Alright?
Yep.
6 points on Holgear.
Okay. You step forward and heal him, and he seems to be diffused for a moment, but Jack still seems ready to do some stabbing.
Connor looks at Jack and is like, Jack, what is going on? We don't have time for this. Our friends are scattered across the plains and we need to get back together. Because this reality is falling apart and so are the other reality. They're being all swallowed up. And Connor is like, for the first time since anyone's ever seen Connor, he's genuinely infuriated. Because, again, Connor he's more or less seeing the big picture of what's going on with that black mask. Or has he seen? He does know. He does know what's going on with that black man.
What do you mean?
I mean, I think I rolled like last week about if I've ever seen it before, and if I comprehend like that the black mass is related to the sudden like erase of multiple other Connors.
Yeah, you know that this world is being erased slowly, but you halted the progress temporarily.
Yeah.
Jack stares at you and says, well, the way I see it, and he raises his dagger accusingly, Holgear here seems to have been involved with Joshua's disappearance, so I think if we want some answers, we should start by questioning him.
But I know where to go. You guys just gotta follow me.
I'm sorry, is my Jack voice not very good?
Connor's just like trying to tell him, but we know where to go, all right? And we all know that in this world of magic and craziness, that any idiot who knows how to do it can disguise himself as any one of us and just do what they came to do.
And what makes you think you didn't just heal the person that can disguise themselves?
Because I know y'all, and y'all have been with me the entire time, and plus, this is me we're talking about. Do you really think anyone could ever lie to me and get away with it? And can I roll like an intimidation check to try and scare Jack a bit?
Alright, roll intimidation check.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little funny that the one person in the party who could possibly lie to you might be lying to you.
14.
Jack seems unperturbed. I think you're a bit naive, is what I think.
Maybe. but at least I'm not so pompously paranoid that I'd stab anyone that looks remotely suspicious, rather than simply capturing and questioning them. Because you can have killed them, and then we wouldn't know for sure, would we?
Well, sometimes you need to scare people a little bit with the fear of God in them.
Yeah, there's the fear of God, and then there's just being a flat-out idiot stabbing.
I feel like I'm getting worse at doing it.
So, are you gonna be a good little?
You're
Get a little
trying to
dynamite?
diffuse a situation with words doesn't seem to be working. I think it's at this point that you realize that Jack is being unreasonable and leads you to believe that there might be something weird or fuzzy about him.
Can I do an insight check to see what's going on with Jack?
Yeah, make an insight check.
21.
Yeah, he seems
Oh, yeah.
different than normal, so he seems a bit more confrontational aggressive, where normally he's a bit laid back. Normally, Slipperjack is the kind of person to not outright say, "I told you so," but just kind of smile from the background and watch people being stupid. The fact that Jack is being like this leads you to believe that something else is affecting him.
Okay, so I want to try and make a roll. All right.
You tell me, what are you doing? Don't just roll.
I want to. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm saying I'm going to make a roll, and I want you to tell me whatever you think would fit this. I want to see if something is missing from Jack, like this Jack that's right in front of me, that could be affecting this change, like like a subtle shift in consciousness, or subconsciousness.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, like this Jack is like this Jack is currently like missing something in him that would normally keep him as chill as he normally is, and went to a different Jack, kind of like a low.
That would be the insight check that you just did.
Can I do like some kind of check to see like if it went to like the doppelganger or?
I don't know how you would figure that out.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to go on with this. All right, I guess Connor's gonna do what he's always done in these kinds of situations when he believes he's met somebody who understands his plight, and he wants to stay with his friend, but at the same time, he's suspecting that this is not the friend he knew. So, I'm going to make a roll, okay? I'm going to roll, what dice would you think I should roll? Like, odds, odds I'd go follow the string, and evens I stay here, or which do you think would work best for this?
It literally doesn't matter because they're all even numbered dice. You could literally do a D4 to a D100.
I mean, like the number, like
odds or evens. That it's literally a flipping a coin.
All right, I'm gonna roll a d4. Odds, I'm gonna go and continue following the line. Evens, I stay here.
Okay. I mean, you don't need to tell me that. You can just make the decision yourself.
I decide to follow the line.
Okay.
All right, fine. You question him and do what you think you gotta do. But I'm gonna follow the line.
I think Holgear follows you since that was the original plan. And Jack follows along behind. Still weapon drawn. You don't know what his intentions are necessarily, but they are following you.
Connor decides to make a beeline straight towards the end of the line because I think he feels like subconsciously he knows wherever this goes should lead to some kind of solution or something to help.
Okay.
Like he doesn't know for sure, but it's an instinct thing.
Right. Holgear and Jack, you eventually arrive to the boarded up destination. Sarah hops out. She releases a few boards before the cart rolls inside, and then she attempts to hide your all's entrance by placing the boards back in place loosely, and then closing the large door that's in place. And you are now currently in the underside, the old original city of Need. You are on a pathway leading downwards. You will eventually make it into the main area, but rather than heading back to where your houses would be, instead you are taking a side venture off to the side, and an abandoned mine shaft, basically, and that is your current destination. You are not far from there, but you currently have an unconscious Talia and Joshua still on the floorboards. What are you all doing?
I think Holgear's
That's a
gonna try and
question.
rig something up so that they're easier to carry. Once again, Holgear is trying to make a harness to carry an unconscious person.
That depends. Which one?
We
which
could always
one is-
wake the girl up.
That depends.
We could wake Talia.
Like,
Alright, I'll bind Talia's hands and... do I want to give her, like, chain gang ankle shackles? That's too much work. I'll just bind her hands and wake her up.
Yeah, that's too much. I'm the perfect person to wake her up. I'll slap her as hard as I can and do no damage to her, but wake her up anyway.
How long does the sleep
My big
last?
negative ones.
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
If somebody wakes you up, you can be slapped awake.
Yeah, it's magical sleep, so I think you need to spend an action to wake someone. Or if
Yeah,
they
it's
take
basically
damage.
any. Technically speaking, if her face planning did any damage, she would have woken up back then.
No.
But it's more fun to do it this way.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, guys.
You didn't fall enough to take falling damage.
Let's go. Yeah, I'll bind her hands. Slap, slap, slap. Wiki, wiki.
Okay, Talia, you wake back up. You are currently tied up.
Sorry about that, but you understand how it is.
You were trying to run off. Can't have that. Having a nice little conversation.
You really think rope is gonna keep me tied? For the love of God.
Yes. That's what rope is for. Did... Would you like to continue with this argumentation about how rope is or is not used to tie things down or together? Or would you like to walk with us?
Well, see, there's a problem with that. Is it okay if I make a medicine check to dislocate my thumbs and wiggle my hands out of the rope to free myself?
That would be a sleight
In
of
front
hand
of
check.
us?
That'd be sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand, yeah.
Alright.
How often do you do this?
And by the way, it's not like we don't see you doing it.
Yeah. No,
Often enough.
it's a stealth. It's a different check. It's a stealth check to do this quietly. Although she did just say, "Hey, you can't keep me here," and then starts like wiggling a little bit. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think we see that.
Just- how does a 13 sound?
okay. You dislocate your thumb, and it hurts. And then you kind of get like frozen in that moment. You're like, that hurt more than usual. And I think it's in this moment that everyone kind of catches you attempting to do something. You're just a little bit too slow.
Just for
Yeah, well,
fun,
see-
I want to.
Yeah,
I
well,
wanna
see,
cast-
I'm talking to them, so it's kind of like it's supposed to. It's like distracting them. It's like one of those movie things.
Nice try. My passive perception's 14. You didn't beat it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
she didn't even roll a stealth check. This was just rolling to see if she could do it, not even quietly.
I imagine we were just standing there watching her dislocate her.
Yeah, exactly.
Thumbs, just being like,
You're all just staring at her. We're just like, you.
Like,
These walls
like
can't
this is not how
hold
the
me, and then
movies-
she breaks her leg.
like these, like it's not how it's portrayed in the movies. Where you're like doing some
Nope.
weird distraction
if-
and it turns out.
You think
I mean,
these
if
cuffs
he
can
allows
hold me?
I can roll again. If he allows me, I can roll again.
I mean, they don't seem to be doing anything, so sure.
They're gonna just keep breaking.
They're
fingers.
just watching you as you attempt to escape. Like, okay.
Like you're breaking your fingers in front of.
Yeah, I mean,
I could also do it for intimidation purposes.
You're breaking your fingers in front of them. How is that intimidating? They're just looking at you like this is a crazy lady who's like doing half the work.
Exactly.
stop asking me questions or I'll kill myself.
Exactly.
I feel like Connor really rubbed off on her on.
Exactly.
that
They'll think I'm crazy.
I mean, I feel like Connor would still think you're a lunatic, Talia. You didn't really think this whole thing through.
Damn it. Oh well. Never mind. Hey, shut up.
You got an 8.
Shut up, Connor!
I think Holger just grabs her by the shoulder and starts shoving her forward. Stop dislocating your friggin' fingers and let's get a move on. Besides, there's the ropes tied
Jack
to your
will pull out his
wrists.
short sword and come up behind her and prod her. Let's go. Time to go.
With a little pole to poke her.
Yep.
Saria kind of slowly walks up, like not even wanting to ask this. So is this where we part ways, or...
Do any of us know what Saria's contract
What were you
is?
paid to do tonight, lady?
She was not paid.
Yeah,
She
what
has a debt for Malachi that was not explained. But she's doing this a favor of... Her job was to help you get in and out of the city with Joshua. So, whether or not you want to go to wherever you're going to next with her or not, she will make the cart disappear. But if you're not using the cart anymore, she can do that now. Or if you want to keep using the cart, you may.
Is the terrain ahead of us cart optional?
For a little bit longer, but we can say that we're at that point basically. So now it is sort of like those narrow mine shafts where there's a little walkway right next to one of those rail carts that's installed. So there's the actual mine cart track basically. So the cart the wagon would not be able to continue in that direction through any of these small one-man tunnels. It gets a bit jagged. So at this point, she's willing to take the cart back into town and just sort of lead the path away from if anyone is chasing the cart. She'll continue driving the cart a ways away before destroying it in order to lead them away from you guys and wherever you want to go next. That's her job. So, yeah, wherever you would like to go
say,
now.
young lady, as long as you do that,
Okay.
the job. I think your job is done here. If you're
Okay.
willing to do that for us, that's about all we really need.
She gives you a 2-finger salute and gets back on the cart. Actually, she has to continue pulling the cart. She does have Arcane Trickster, so she is going to animate the cart to continue going. But the horse stands up on 2 legs, removing its disguise, and is your dragon friend. And he picks up Joshua. He will also carry Talia if you want, or if you want to make Talia walk, you can.
Out of character, is this something you're willing to do, keeping Mr. Dragon Boy around?
I mean, he is part of your original crew. He doesn't really care one way or another. He seems to have been kind of quiet throughout all of this, but has been willing to go along with whatever you guys want to do. You don't really know his motives. He's never spoken. You've never really attempted to sort of get to know him better necessarily. You don't even know if he speaks or if he's intelligent, but he's been a very useful portion of the group. He's the muscle.
Okay.
And he does a good job.
I just wanted to make sure you didn't feel like you needed to shoehorn him back in.
No. This is original. This is a true element of the plot. Unfortunately, we lost that player, so.
Gotcha.
But he's around. And actually,
Okay,
I'm fine with playing this NPC. He's fine.
He's kind of cool sounding.
Oh yeah, he was here before you were. Forgot about that. Yeah, just continuing down the mine shafts.
So what was the dragon dude's name? Does anybody remember?
Eins.
I mean, not that you ever
Eins?
learned
That's
it.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, they never told us, but I knew out of character.
Yeah.
I assume they've told us in character at some point.
Well, sure, they've probably drawn on the ground with a stick or something, but they can't talk. They've got like a muzzle over their mouth, so they can't talk or use magic or breathe or anything. I mean, like, use a breath attack. They can breathe. Well, actually, no, he can't breathe. He doesn't need to breathe because he's a skeleton dragon. Anywho. So, he's carrying Joshua for you guys, and I guess you're holding Talia at sword point. Down into these tunnels.
Welcome to my world.
Okay. So where are you guys headed?
I mean, we're trying to get out of town, right?
We should probably find him.
What was that, Jack?
Well, if we're trying to get out of town, going under the town's not necessarily the way. But we could always hide under the ground. And that's going to make it very difficult for people to find us on slippery Jack's turf.
The good thing about going down into the mining tunnels is that there are connections to basically everywhere in town, but you will have to eventually get to the surface in order to leave Mead.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this is basically as far as the plan went, is that you were able to get Joshua back to normal in a living state. You have not come into contact with the Malachi in this universe. So, the Malachi in the other dimension that you were from suggested that would be the best course of action, but you didn't necessarily trust him. So, whatever you guys want to do now is entirely up to you.
Jack, this is your domain. My money's on looping
Well, I
around.
think the first thing we need to do is. I think the first thing we need to do is try to figure out one way or another whether the young lady here is for us or against us. Because we can't be just dragging her around tied up the whole time. We need to resolve this pretty soon, I think.
Another point of issue is that this version of you guys have not been on wild and crazy adventures. You briefly met at prison and then got almost killed by that crystal blowing up. And since then you've gone over and attempted to right the wrongs, but you basically are strangers to each other. So whether or not you want to choose to stay friends at the end of this venture, same with Saria, is entirely up to you. If you'd like to part ways and attempt to go back to the lives that you once had.
Quick. So, just out of character, real quick.
Yes.
This reality, the whole like sugar and roses sort of family life, was that either of these whole gears backgrounds, or is this just Candyland?
Make a history or insight check.
Yeah, because I don't think either of the whole gears had a very good childhood.
I mean, I think in the multiverse, there's at least one universe, you know?
I don't know shit. I rolled a 6.
Okay. The best understanding that you can get is that when whatever happened that caused Joshua to get frozen and whatnot, is that doppelgangers of yourselves seem to have affected your world and your timeline, and seem to have swapped places. So now you are in their worlds, or maybe it's your world again. It's hard to figure out. Anyways, I do need to run to the bathroom again, unfortunately. So I'll leave you all to talk amongst yourselves. I know that you've got like lots of questions for me, but you've probably got lots of questions for each other. So.
I'm just trying to comprehend reality, bro.
Just do what Connor does.
I'll be
Don't
right
think
back.
about it.
That's fair.
Aren't we
Alright.
all?
Just don't think about it. Do what Connor does. Don't think about it. Just go with it, alright? How many times do you think Connor's hopped into some random reality that he's in the middle of some, like, high-octane, BS crazy shit that's going on, alright? And you think he stopped, like, she's like,
we don't
no,
know.
what's going on? And then he was like, well, fuck it, I'm here. Might as well just do it. And goes with it.
Joke's on you. We don't know that at all.
Yeah, Connor's plagued
Yeah,
by
we
this
don't even
man.
know Connor, so.
You got no Connor to help tell you to just go with it, you know? Just go with the reality.
And I think
in all
for
seriousness, this is a campaign ending choice here. Alright?
I think the only real like campaign continuing choice we have to make is, do we merge with our doppelgangers?
Fortunate for you, Connor's bringing them right.
Or do we try to kill our doppelgangers? I mean, if they're here on our plane, and they know they shouldn't be here,
Yeah, but they're
and they
you,
may
that
not
means-
necessarily be. Hold up a second. They may not even necessarily be what you would call a doppelganger. It may just be other people using disguised self to make themselves look like us. That's a possibility as well.
It is.
Yeah, but that's really complicated, and what reason would anybody have doing that?
Hey, identity
Probably
theft
the same
happens every day.
Millions of families suffer from it. It's no joke. I'm gonna tell Michael on y'all.
So many
Michael!
people could live your life better than you do. Do you not realize?
You know, you just sound like my neighbor who says some dude stole his identity just to prove that he's living a better life than him. Sound like my neighbor with that one. My doppelganger came and stole my identity and you know is basically living my life, and he's actually
Connor,
doing
you have
good
no
at it.
doppelgangers.
Say again? Usually you end up having to kill your doppelganger.
You're consciously connected to every single Connor, so.
Yeah. Connor knows all, sees all, and beats all.
Yeah, if ever like a football game gets postponed in one world, you could be like, hey, I know the outcome.
Yeah, and he's just, or like he's at a racing track and he's like, I know exactly which dog has the best odds of winning.
Let's see, out of the 81 billion universes that I'm connected to, the Cowboys wins 0% of the time.
Hey, that's mean. I'd say 0.5. 0.5, man. Right? Or 1%, right? There's always going to be that one time, you know?
There's one universe where the Cowboys are the best team ever.
Yeah, see? It's like this. He can beat me up 99
Anyways,
times.
I don't want to keep talking about.
Good job, Doctor Strange.
You're very welcome. Now shut up and go merge with yourself.
Shut up and dance.
Yeah, or shut up and drive, or whatever the fuck the song goes.
Anywho,
Do they even dance?
well,
Do those two even dance?
well, if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
Oh, we're back here again.
Connor's like
Oh,
on
we
full
just-
sprint, by the way. He's like fully running towards the end of that line. Like, no stop, go on.
Anyway, while you guys are thinking about what's going on, what to do, Connor, eventually you make your way, following your thread, to a sealed doorway. There are multiple boards boarding up a large doorway, but the thread seems to continue through it. What do you do?
Connor approaches the door and tries opening it.
It is sealed. There are boards boarded up over the door.
Oh, he tries prying it open.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check.
Oh dear God, strength is not my forte.
You can do it.
You ready?
Damn it.
7.
Next time.
Nope. The door is sealed.
Okay, Connor's gonna take his dagger and try prying it open.
Which dagger?
The regular dagger. He doesn't want to burn the door down.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
wait. Actually, can I use the performance of creation and create a crowbar to pry it open, or whatever item would open?
Yeah, you can make a crowbar, which gives you advantage.
Right.
You made another strength check with advantage.
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. 15.
With advantage?
Yes. I have a 15, and so does that open it or what?
You got a 15?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you start prying off one board. Make an investigation check. Or what's your passive perception, I should say.
Oh, my passive is 17.
Okay. You notice that some of the boards have fresh nails in them, despite them being very ancient and old boards, which leads you to believe that this doorway has been recently resealed.
And Connor, knock on, the door and be like, hello? Is somebody in there?
No response.
I
What?
Connor will continue. I was going to be like, well, no response. Connor's going to continue prying it open.
Okay. Yeah, you continue prying it open. Holgier goes to help you, but Jack stops him and starts questioning him again.
Remember, Jack, if you kill him, you're never going to get your answers. And I'm not going to waste any more healing spells, so don't bother.
Okay. Cutting back to the rest of the party, what are you guys doing?
So, Mr. Jack, I hear that you're, well, not the most honest character, and I understand that you make your residence in the, under areas where we are currently, so if anybody's going to lead us out of this weird area, it'd probably be you. I put myself in your care.
Calling me a dishonest person to begin with is not a good way to start that statement. But I understand what you're saying.
I'm not calling you a dishonest person, I'm just saying you make a dishonest living.
I think you just did, but same thing. Okay. Well,
I'm not calling you a bad person, I'm just saying you pick pockets.
did I
Don't
pick
we
your
all?
pocket?
I don't think so. Collier checks his pockets.
Oh, my good sir, I do believe that you are a bit of a ruffian, as they say.
I do declare. Reginald, this man needs some gold.
Oh, Muffy,
That's
look!
always,
It's one of those rascally scamps over there. Ooh.
I feel like that's one of Holgear's neighbors.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like when
like
they-
old money.
It's one of those rich people that goes to the underbelly thinking it's like a tourist. Like, oh, I hope he doesn't steal from our pockets. Oh, what? So exciting.
That's
As
absolutely
As we're
something they've
making our
done.
way down, I'm going to use Thieves' Cant to let our driver know that she should probably go ahead and let people ahead of us know that there are topsiders coming down, and everybody who should probably make themselves scarce.
I don't know
You mean
what
Sarah?
you mean by using thieves' cant.
Thieves
Isn't there,
cancel
like,
language.
secret?
It's
It's like thief talk.
Thieves' Cant is it's kind of a language between rogues where we just
Right.
kind of use gestures and
Right, but I don't understand how
say
you're using
things
that to
where-
communicate with someone that is nowhere near you.
No, I thought she was still with us when we got off the wagon.
Oh, I mean, yeah. If you want to still have this conversation while you're at the roadside, use thieves' cant. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
And what do you tell her? There's people coming after you?
No, I'm letting her know. I'm telling her to let the people down below know that I'm bringing these people with me. And they're not people that I necessarily trust, so if you're not trustworthy of topsiders, make yourself scarce. You don't trust them?
She
might
signs
wanna
back
not
to you
be
that
by 'em.
she, actually, I think she just signs back to you. This is where our deal ends.
Okay. In that case, then we should be on our way
Okay.
and be heading down.
Yep, and you're just going through some of these old mining tunnels. But wherever you would like to go
Yep.
to is completely up to you. You know these tunnels. You worked them.
Yep. First of all, I'm gonna tell these guys don't be making eye contact with anybody down here. You don't want to know them, they don't want to know you. Just follow me and we'll get through this with no problem. Or at least we should. But at the same time, keep your hands on your pockets too. On your purses. And I think I'm going to lead them down, not to my place, but like a safe house that we could stay at temporarily.
Okay. Yeah, there's probably several houses that are like abandoned, or if you want to, just kind of find like a little
An old
mine
way.
shaft where there's probably like maybe a cart, maybe some like supports where it's kind of like an offshoot where people would have hung up tools and like hung out during work hours, but is just sort of abandoned at this point.
Okay, when we find that spot, I will cut Talia free and say to her, if you can do a better job of explaining what's going on now, we would all love to hear it. If not, if you want to part ways, feel free to find your way out. But whatever you decide, we need to take care of this right here and now.
Talia, are you there?
Yep, I'm right here.
Don't sound so excited.
Oh, well, seems how I'm tied up by people that look like my crew.
He just cut you loose.
Oh.
I cut you free.
And the only person who
God.
can probably explain it better than anyone in our group isn't there.
Yeah.
He's getting there. He's getting there. It's a slow and steady deal.
Huh, finally. About goddamn time. Gonna do
Hey,
a
I'm not the one that
medicine.
tried to jump out the back of the coach.
Man, my rolls are freaking sucking today. That's a bullshit roll. That was a bullshit roll too.
What are you doing?
Inspiration.
No, I'm trying to roll a goddamn medicine check so I can put my thumbs back into place.
Oh,
Oh no.
Inspiration.
Well, hold on.
You want me to try to put him back in place for you?
No.
Yeah,
Try- It might help if you brace them up against the wall or
sure?
something.
Now I have 3 adversity tokens. Let's use those.
what did you get for
DM,
original
if
roll?
I cast Cure Wounds, would that put them back in the
Yes.
socket, or would that just make them be healed in the outside of the socket?
No, that would heal the wound.
And I rolled a 10 for the first one.
I'm gonna say that if you use an adversity token, that would work.
That works too.
Okay. Okay, then I'll use an adversity token.
Okay. So, You don't have to use your cure wounds. She sticks her thumb back in its socket.
For unexplicable reasons for removing it.
Shut up,
Well, she was
Connor.
doing a magic trick, you know, when people remove their finger. Except she actually tried to do it.
He really failed at it. It's worse than the time when Connor got so drunk at a party he tried doing that trick.
Connor's like,
And you try-
now for my
What
next
if-
trick, I'm going to saw my thumb on half.
And then he just takes a
Well, I
clear
don't
and
know.
just goes,
I don't know, Connor. Were you drunk and decided to do the freaking knife game too?
yes. And high.
Oh no!
I have
Oh,
all my
no.
fingers, the knife goes chop, chop, chop.
Chop chop. And if I miss the space between my fingers, will come up. And if I hit my fingers,
Okay, that's
what
enough.
will
Yeah,
come up?
he,
But all the same,
he
I
thinks-
play the fingers. That's what
he
it's all
thinks
about.
sober you think sober Connor's a lunatic. Wait until you see drunken high Connor.
You can't
That's
use a pencil. You can't use a pen. You know,
They tell you, I think you gotta stop, or otherwise he's just gonna keep muting you.
with a knife, danger is your friend.
Did you just kick her off? Hey, see Connor be like making his way back.
Hey!
I'm about to do something with
Guys,
Connor, but
you know.
first I need to figure out what the situation is with this party. And Jack
Okay.
has just posted something to Talia. Talia said, "Hold on," puts her thumb back in.
So, what's the deal? Why are you guys releasing me? What's this issue? What's the issue here?
Frank. What's the issue here?
What's the big deal?
Jack just asked you, what are your intentions? Basically, where do we go from here? Basically,
Yep. Either you're gonna somehow convince us that we, are your crew somewhere somehow, or it's time for you to part ways with us because we're not in the business of dragging extra dead weight around.
Ouch.
the big dragon dude kind of huffs.
I think you hurt his feelings.
No, he like jostles Joshua's shoulder or Joshua's body on his shoulder. As in, that's his business, is carrying around dead weight.
I thought I was misreading that entirely. Never mind. Connor
So what do you
echoes
say,
in
young
Talia's-
lady?
Connor echoes in Talia's head.
No.
Follow them.
Don't make me server mute you.
Sorry. I wanted to do the Star Wars bit.
So, Dr. Jones, what is your decision?
Okay, so you can do an Indiana Jones reference, but when I tried doing a bit for Star Wars, I get server mute.
I was about ready to say, really? Indiana Jones had to go there.
Hey, you can,
Can
never
we
go
stop
wrong
getting
with Jones.
distracted?
This is
Never.
D&D. We all get distracted.
We've been at this question for like 15 minutes now.
Is it?
Go with them.
Well, let's see. What would I have to do to persuade to basically like tell them basically everything that everything that I know of that we like went through together. Like basically tell them like the freaking origin story of how we all just kind of came to be, like came to become a crew.
I mean, if you want to start telling that spiel, it's kind of up to them whether or not they choose to listen to the whole deal.
Just go with them for the time being. Earn their trust.
Yeah, well, that's the situation though, is that
Only
they
that
don't
we're-
want to keep hanging out until you convince them of something.
That's
Get out
where
of the way for
If only there
Connor.
were some game mechanic in which way to persuade us that it is true. That would be great.
That would be very great. I agree. Game persuasion is a skill. Or a dude who's, coming straight y'all's way with living proof,
Gosh.
would you guys be interested in it?
In what?
In me telling that spiel, as you called it.
Well, we are giving you the freedom to do whatever you so desire. Because we don't feel like carrying you around all the time.
We slowed down so you could catch up with us. We put you to sleep when you tried to get away. We brought you here and untied you. What else do you want us to do? Now give us a reason why. Something. Give us something. I mean, we're trying our best to be congenial about this, but if you can't give us a reason why we need to keep you around, then there's no sense in keeping you around. And I'm not even sure at this point that that's what you want, so what's the deal here?
Well, let's get walking while you're thinking of a reason to being around us, I suppose.
Let us go, my friends.
Okay. I like everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
Including me?
Yes.
Let's go, Rocks Fall!
Pretty much, actually.
Yeah, let's go!
I'm going to use a luck point. You know what? I'm going to use a luck point.
Oh, you have those?
Yay.
Yeah, I have the lucky feat.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I figured it'd be very in character for Connor to have the lucky feat.
That makes sense.
Let me make sure it's marked off. So freaking loaded. Okay,
Yay.
alright, I'm gonna... Dexterity, correct?
Yes.
6.
Fail.
15.
Fuck.
Fail.
What?
30-20.
Fail. No, I'm just kidding. You're good.
I got a 23.
Fail. It's messed up. No, you also succeed. Let me roll for big dude. Okay, yeah, he's good. You also rolled a dirty 20. Oh, let me roll for the other Jack and Olgierd.
Oh, yeah.
I keep forgetting about those
Jack
guys.
falls down. Wait. No, Holgear falls down. Sorry. Yeah, Jack got a nat 20. So you all feel a shudder and a tremble. And Jack and probably Holgear knows that this location is not known for its earthquakes. Which is the reason why all these tunnels are still intact over the hundreds of years, is that there is no like tectonic shifting and whatnot. But now that you are in this location, there is such a shuddering shake that most of you fall down, except for those of you that rolled higher than a 20. Well, like one of you got a 20 and one of you got a 25.
Ooh, so I just made it.
Yeah.
I was cursed.
Everyone else is knocked prone, but also at the same time, Connor, the doorway has cracked open, and the door has sort of split and collapsed inwards a little bit. So the passageway for you is open now, although it looks certainly more foreboding now. And also the ground is still trembling slightly. But there was a sudden shock that came through that like knocked everyone. And now the ground is just kind of ever so slightly vibrating a little bit, to the point where if you like set down anything, it would probably like jitter away, but not so badly that it would knock you down again if you tried to stand up.
Alright, Jack, I think it's time we get out of these freaking caves before something comes down on our head.
I believe so. Definitely don't want to stick around.
Lady, you can stay here and keep thinking about reasons why we need to join your crew, or you can come with us.
Sounds like she's staying here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You two go on ahead. Well, you three.
Okay.
Have fun.
And take care of Joshua. He was a good member of my crew.
If you say so.
Connor's just yelling, "Don't worry, Joshua, buddy, I'm coming for you." And everyone else is going crazy, even by my standards.
Even by my standards.
He's a dead member of your crew. Why don't you take care of him?
Oh, what?
I think
The bot's being stupid, so.
Oh. I don't know why, but I thought this was Donkey Kong music for a second.
Oh well.
That's also the wrong music, but I'm gonna roll with it for now. Okay. Dust is continuously falling as you quickly make your way through these tunnels, heading in whatever direction you choose. Talia, where are you going?
I'm going back the way we came.
Okay. Make a survival check.
Oh, is it okay if I do something real quick?
What are you doing?
How tall is the dragon lich? How tall is he?
He's about 10 feet tall.
Oh, damn it. I wouldn't be
What?
able to reach him. I wanted to slash his muzzle off. Don't like the fact that he was wearing a muzzle, let alone his
He is sort of hunched over, so I think like his muzzle would kind of be down to like maybe 7 or 8 feet, maybe.
he's a tall guy.
He is. He's big.
So
And again, his muzzle is iron. It
His
is
muzzle made
enchanted
of-
wrought iron. Yeah, it's not just like leather.
Is there like a strap in the back?
He has these chains covering his entire torso and arms, and there's even some that were wrapped around his ankles. This guy was securely bound recently, and you can see that the chains are kind of wrapped around him.
Okay, according to what I put for her, she's 5'8", so
She's 58 feet tall.
said 5'8".
He knows. He's just
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah, that's 58, 5'8".
I'm 5'5". I'm 5'8".
Okay. Now how about your character?
Yeah. Damn, you kind of gotten away with it if you
That's
were
what-
58 feet tall.
That's,
What are you
I
doing?
don't-
What's your plan? Tell me your idea here.
I mean, not liking like how how the muzzle and the chains are like literally like wrapped around this lich, this dragon lich. I wanted to release him, that way he has more, could move freely, because my god.
This freeing him is something that is very complicated and difficult, and would require someone that is very skilled in like enchantment and cursing things and whatnot, which is the reason why it hasn't been done yet, is because it would take a lot.
And by the way, what makes you think he stayed behind with you? He's our buddy.
No, she meant like before she
He would
turns
come
and
with us,
walks
I don't
away,
know.
she wanted to try and do this thing real quick. But
Okay.
I mean, is it possible? Hold on. Is it okay if I use my blade to do it? Would my blade be sharp enough to?
there's only one way to find out.
Better not miss.
I guess I'm gonna have to use Beyond the Boundary again.
You don't have any more.
I don't anymore. Darn it.
These people are turning to walk away, and you're doing what?
What are you going to be doing, Talia?
Yeah, I guess I'm going back the way that we came.
Okay.
Never mind.
You just leave him behind. Okay, Connor, you are just running through the tunnel. I guess you just left Holger and Jack behind. But you were
I
still
thought
chasing
they
the
were, I
thread.
thought they were still following me. But yeah, he's following the thread.
Well, as soon as the doorway opens, what are you doing? Holger falls to the ground. Jack's still standing. You just go in.
Connor would grab Holger and Gag, pull them back up to their feet, and say, "Come on," and goes through the door.
Okay. Yeah, they follow you.
And
Holger and Jack, where are you headed? Just
I think Holger's just
into town.
following Jack. Jack knows the area. I trust his intuition.
Is the reason why you guys are staying together is just to sort of get through the ordeal of escaping from prison, and also undoing the... Because the reason why you guys were together is to escape the prison, and then you got put into this dimensional puzzle, but now that you're out of that, do you all intend to stick around together, I suppose?
I guess we'll have to decide that once we get out of here.
Okay. I assume
Yeah,
Jack's
Because
just doing this.
I'm not really going to feel right.
Yeah, Jack's just being helpful and friendly.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm just trying to get these guys safely out of my territory without causing me too much problems.
Fair enough. With the cavern shaking, you're quickly making your way down. Eventually, you get to a section where you know that after just a couple more turns, you'll make it down, and that's when you hear people screaming and yelling.
What day is today in relation to the Harvest Festival?
Harvest Festival is tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe there was a Harvest Festival riot going on.
No, these do not sound like
And what is
good
everybody-
cheers. In fact, I'll say that you probably see like a couple random people, maybe a family or two, start to come up in your direction. And they do not seem deterred by you guys, especially with the Dragon Lich.
I tried to ask one of them what's going on down there.
Yeah, you grab someone and like, it's just getting destroyed. It's all gone.
What is?
I don't know. It just some sort of blackness started consuming everything.
Yay.
Oh, great. Well, that sounds familiar.
Well, not to these characters, it doesn't.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
What an odd thing to say.
You continue making your
What
way
the
down.
black stuff is they're talking about.
Wild guess says we'll find out soon.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, you eventually make your way down to what would be a nice open city street. And instead what you see is this sort of blackness that seems to be rising up from the lower levels, from the other streets and tunnels that seem to be coming from. It's almost like the world is slowly getting submerged in this black liquid. But you also watch as it seems to be kind of wicking up and surrounding over things.
Black liquid as in different from the prison stuff?
No, same thing. But you wouldn't know that.
Oh. Okay. I thought that was more like creeping shadow.
It is in a way that if you imagine like something was flooded and then as water drains away, stuff like falls off roofs and then like seeps down the side and like eventually goes down across the ground. It's like this is playing in reverse, where as soon as it pours across the ground and comes across a vertical surface, it goes up the surface and then covers over the top of it.
Shit, this character doesn't know anything about any of this.
You also don't have any of that parabellum in your pocket.
Not on this character.
Nope.
Are we at the
But I do
surface
know the
at this
first thing
point?
Slippery Jack wants to do is cast mage armor on himself.
Oh, okay.
Because that
Didn't-
shit looks scary.
I didn't know you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you take like Fey Touched?
Hmm?
I don't know. I'm
You
just
don't know
wondering
me,
how
don't
you got
ask, man. It's personal shit.
And the first thing that the Dragon Lich does is he cocks his railgun.
it.
Like,
Huh?
that's how random it was. Just like, oh, okay.
You have my bow, and my sword, and my axe, and my nuke.
And
And
my
your
Ferrari.
Why in the world would you have a nuclear warhead on you?
Hey, you don't know my life.
You're telling me that I should have went with them to tell them to fucking run.
I don't think you know what this is either.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't. Damn it.
Yeah.
I will take the gig to Mordor. You have my cord, and my bow, and my sax.
You know, for a moment I thought it was something else.
Okay.
Calm down now.
No.
Yeah, this character has no idea what this is. I don't think I could make like any sort of not religion or history check, because no experience with this at all.
No.
Well, Jack, I hope you have all of your things that are easily packed, because I think it's time to evacuate the town. I don't know what that is, do you?
Do you really think it's gonna stop down here?
No, but I figure if you move far and fast enough, you can get the hell away. Do you have a
We
solution?
do have the rest of the town to consider as well. We start fighting a retreating battle and call for reinforcements.
How do you fight a shadow liquid? I'll real quick, like
Not
try
sure
and cast
yet.
dancing lights.
You watch as someone.
How close is it up to it?
You watch as someone is running in the streets. They trip, and they're screaming as the darkness washes over them, and then silence.
Yeah, I don't want that to be me or my family.
It's like, fairly far away. Again, it doesn't seem to be traveling a distance as much as it is like the ocean's rising. Like it's like a steadily vertical increase.
Oh, that's very concerning. And
Yeah.
I'm
Sparrow,
gonna
out
say
of
at this
character.
point, probably the rest of the street is emptied and people have run past you, and the decision is yours. Whether or not you want to venture out in these streets before they're quickly consumed by the darkness, or continue running with everyone else.
Sparrow, out of character question, is there a way to fix this sort of thing? This feels like the kind of thing you don't fix.
Unfortunately, I am unable to tell you at this point in time.
Cool.
That would not be something that would be fair to me to simply tell you.
Reality is getting blackwashed, I guess.
Connor, as you are running down, you feel this gut-wrenching feeling on your stomach as you know what's happening. And eventually you run into Talia, who is running in your direction.
Talia, we gotta get the guys. We gotta get out of this dimension. It's coming apart, and they are acting weird. They are not acting how they're supposed to act. He points at like the Jack and and Holgear that he's been with this entire time. They've been annoyingly weird, and I don't like it. I want the other ones back. Also, good to see you.
And I run. No, I was like, wait, Connor? Connor's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh my god!
Holgear
What?
seems fine. It's Jack that seems like he's under the influence of something. And not the normal stuff.
Not the kind of stuff that they try putting Connor on just to see what would happen.
What did you say?
Not the kind of stuff that they'd put Connor on just to see what would happen.
Wow.
Nice
Yep.
joke. I laughed.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Anyways, Connor's just like, like Talia, this reality is doomed. We need to find a way to get out of here because Jack's acting weird. He's acting very suspicious towards Holgear. I think he's going to kill him very soon. Holgear's probably going to die, and I'm probably going to have to kill Jack. Oh, where's Joshua? Oh my god, is he still dead?
I'm probably gonna have to kill Jack.
No, I like place my hands on both sides of his face, and I'm like, Connor, 1, nice to see you again. 2, you're jumbling your words and everything. It's okay. 3, Jack, Holgear, you better get your asses in line.
Holgear's just like, I don't really know what's going on, but yeah, where have you been, Talia?
Figure out a way to get back to you guys.
I think when Connor says, I'll have to kill Jack, Jack turns to him and is like, I'd like to see you try.
And Connor's like,
And I
You're
look,
like a
I look back
low-key,
at Connor. I look back at Connor and I'm like, and Joshua is with the other Holgear and Jack and the dragon lich that went down into these caves. If you want to go
wait,
after
Dragon
them,
Lich?
we'll go back. I'll run back with you guys and go after them, but.
Yeah, Holgear is like, yeah, I mean, I definitely think we should go do something about that.
Onward, men and female. We gotta save our compatriot from being killed in a really crummy way.
As you turn around to make your way into the tunnels, you are buffeted by a flurry of people rushing and making their way out of the tunnels.
Ah, hey, damn it! Stop pushing! Hey, that's my wallet! Oh wait, I don't have a wallet.
That's my wallet.
My spleen!
Oh no, they took my other kidney! Now I'm down to 2!
Hey, it says gullible on the ceiling. Ah, so it does. Ah, you stole my lungs.
Now I'm down to 3.
Oh, so I did.
Like-
Oh, I stole my lungs.
Ah, you stole my lungs.
Does that mean to however many realities Connor crosses into, he gets that many more organs?
Oh no.
Yeah, whenever Connor goes to a new dimension, they double up. So he has 2 brains, 4 eyes. No.
2 brains,
Oh,
2
no.
hearts, 4 lungs, 4 kidneys.
All stuffed into one skeleton, though. It's very uncomfortable.
Yes.
No.
And he still looks like a
No,
functional
every
human being.
dimension is a different Connor. It's just that all Connor's consciences are connected. So,
Ultimate
We
so
are
if,
organ
God.
donor.
if this Connor dies and you go to another dimension, Connor will still remember you.
Yep.
Ah, you stole my lungs.
Alright.
I'm surprised none of y'all laughed at the part where he says, oh wait, I don't have a wallet.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, Connor's trying to push his way through, try and find his way to get around or over, or somehow get through the crowd without getting killed in the process.
Okay. After a few minutes, the crowd eventually parts. And you can see down through the various tunnels around you, you can see blackness rising, but from one tunnel in particular, you can see a group of people, which is another Jack, Holgear, with Joshua slung over a dragon lich.
Hey, look!
Making their way up to you.
It's them! Connor would run over to Jack and Holgear and hug them both and be like, "Oh, thank God, I found you two! Alright, I found the other two of you too." So anyways, we're all doomed. We better start running like hell, and also I need y'all to merge with your other selves. And who the heck is this dude? He points at the giant dragon.
Who are you?
Oh yeah, this version y'all don't know me. Okay, yeah. Right. Talia, why didn't you lead with that when we were talking to him? When we were talking like 5 minutes ago. Anyways, I'm Connor. We're in the same crew. She's the boss lady, and yeah, we're basically all in the same crew. Congrats! Yay! Let's do our thing.
It's at this
What
moment.
the fuck is going on?
Holgear
Oh,
and Jack.
boys, did you miss me?
Holgear and Jack. You lock
Want to know
eyes
who
with
that
each other.
Holger and Jack are?
Holgear and Jack. You see another version of yourself, and you lock eyes, and you're frozen for a moment. And this is the wrong music.
I mean, you're the DM. You make it work, I guess.
Got a fair point.
Where is it? Basically, you feel this moment where you lock eyes with each other, and you realize that this is only going to end one way, and both of you make a wisdom saving throw.
Can I give him inspiration?
No.
Okay. I tried, guys.
I got a 16.
Got a 10.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm still holding my crowbar, by the way.
Sure.
Can I spend an egg point to make that a decent okay roll? Or is this not an egg point sort of situation?
What did you get?
I got a 10.
And you want to expend a token?
Yeah.
Okay. You lock eyes with your doppelganger, and the rest of the world starts to slip away and disappear. It's not that it gets darker. You're not feeling that sort of presence coming up around you, but everything else starts to go quiet. Everything loses color. You focus solely on the other you, and you know that this needs to happen. Something needs to happen, and you don't know what the other you is thinking, but you assume the same thing. What do you do? Actually, can we do a bathroom break real quick? This is about to be a really important thing, and I'd like to
Yeah,
top
sure,
off on
sure.
order.
Yeah. I need to go too.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna go get something to eat.
Man, this shit's creepy.
I think I need to turn up Probot a little bit more. Not getting the vibes just yet.
I'm trying to watch how loud I'm making it so that, I can hear
Oh.
I can hear a sparrow, you know?
Yeah.
I put it at 60. I can hear it pretty decently on mines.
Hmm?
I was just suggesting try putting it on like 60 or something because that's the volume I have it at, and I can hear it and build pretty well.
Yeah, I have it at 70. It's about where I usually keep it. And I have you guys at like 170 or more.
I mean, not to sound narcissistic, but we are kind of the most important sound to be hearing during the game.
Right.
I mean, after you, of course, but you get what I mean.
Right. And I also mix the sound a little bit depending upon which one it is. If it needs to be quieter or louder. But most of it is just supposed to be kind of like washed over. So,
White noise machine type deal.
yeah. Honestly, the better way of doing this would be to just record the sessions without music and then for me to put in the music after the fact. The reason why I do it live is mostly for me, to help me stay in the mood and help. So, I apologize if it's not the best for you guys.
Oh no, you're the DM.
If
man.
you want to keep it muted, that's what Jack does. Is he just keeps it muted, and then if he ever wants to rewatch the session, he enjoys some music. But yeah,
Fair enough.
I mean, I'm not gonna judge you on your process. It's like whatever keeps you in the mood, you know. Like for Connor, I tried doing little bits, you know, just get into Connor's mindset.
Holger, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you do when you come face to face with yourself?
I think it's one of those like cartoon moments where we both like raise our right hand, then lower our left hand, sort of mimicking each other's motions.
Oh, not like a Spider-Man pointing finger.
There is a moment of that, but less so.
It's more like a mirroring each other sort of thing.
Yeah.
Y'all like raise your fingers at the same time, point each other, but then stop like halfway to it and just give up on that.
Okay. And Jack, what about you? What's your reaction?
Good question. I don't think Jack's going to be very happy about seeing a duplicate set of him and Holgear. I think he might walk up to him and this is a tough decision.
I mean, he walks up to you as well. How do you
Because I
respond
want
to
to just
that?
try to... Does he look aggressive at all?
I mean, how would you feel or react to seeing yourself? Do you look aggressive? I assume that you are kind of like looking each other over like, huh. But I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm
you.
looking at both of them like... I'm kind of looking at both of them like, what's it going to take to resolve this situation? Because I'm sure that those two guys, whether they are somebody imitating us or some other version of us, I don't think they have our best interest at heart.
As you
Otherwise, they
step
wouldn't
closer
come
to each other,
like us.
you feel the presence get stronger, and the thought of resisting or stopping walking forward gets harder and harder to think about, to the point where you're so close that you realize that you're at the last second of cognizant thought before you simply continue walking until you walk into each other. What do you do, Jack?
Huh. Try to put a mage hand up in between us.
Okay. He also casts Mage Hand, and when those Mage Hands collide, they don't hit each other or pass through each other, but instead merge together, and then you watch as they get warped and sucked into center and then disappear with a fizzling pop. And once you make that realization with horror, you look back at the other you, who's also looking on in horror, as you both have your hands out and your hands touch. I would like you to make an ability saving throw for each ability, please.
Okay. Here we go for strength. Strength is a 10.
Okay.
Or excuse me, that's an 8. I forgot I'm a -1, not a +1. Dexterity is going to be a 19.
Okay.
Constitution is a 12.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Intelligence is a 15.
Okay.
Wisdom's a 12.
Jeez.
And
hoping for better
charisma is a
worse.
16.
Pretty good rolls.
It was a tie up until that last roll.
Oh, wow.
Did he win?
We don't know.
Basically, Jack, this Jack won 1, lost 2, and then there was a straight up tie, and then this last roll, which I will not tell you what it was. Holgir, you also experienced this, and I'm going to give you the option. Do you distract yourself and watch as this happens to Jack, or do you stay fixated on your Holgir?
I think I got distracted with Jack, because I think I just watched
Okay.
something really weird happen.
You watch as Jack walks in, and it's like walking into a mirror, where at some point they touch and start to go into each other, and it's like walking through a mirror, where you would assume that it would just sort of disappear on the other side, but at the last second you watch as one of these reflections pulls backwards with a lot of strenuous effort in this almost agonizing kind of pain, as if ripping themselves out of something, and then they stand there, and then you turn back and at the last second and realize that you're about to touch yourself. I would like you to make an ability saving throw of all of your abilities, please.
Let's go. Strength, that's a solid 6.
Okay.
Dexterity, that's a 19.
Okay.
Constitution, nat 1 for a 5. Intelligence is a 12. Wisdom is a dirty 20.
Jeez.
And charisma, A nat 20 for a 27.
Why does it always come down to these ties? Goodness gracious, my heart can't take this. The rest of the party also watches the same thing happen to Holgir, where they go into each other, and they both start to disappear, as if passing into nothing. And then you watch as a Holgir pulls backwards and stays standing. And it's at this
Holgir
point.
vomits.
What?
Holgir vomits.
Okay. Yeah. You do so. It's at this point that the darkness is slowly creeping up and is about to consume the room that you are in unless you all vacate expediently.
Connor would try grabbing them all, pushing them out. Get out of here!
Does my current Holgir know about the rocks in his pocket? Do I get the rocks into my pocket?
Make a history check.
Let's go. Oh, I think that means I won my original thing. 16.
You do know that the other you put rocks in their pocket. And when you reach down, there are rocks in your pocket. Which leads you to believe whether or not you are the other one or the same one.
Too much to comprehend. I'm gonna throw the parabellum crystals in like a little perimeter to keep it from enveloping us.
You just surround yourself in a circle?
I'd like to try and defend us all if I can.
Okay. You quickly start to make a semicircle, and the darkness starts to pass around you and is threatening to come into the other half of the semicircle unless you quickly do the rest. I'm going to say that you're not going to have enough to encircle everybody.
Connor will take the sacrifice and go to darkness.
Huh?
If he can't save everyone, least he can do is try and save his friends.
Or we could just leave.
That's him.
The dragon dude sprouts his wings and looks at Holgir and Jack. And he looks at Joshua on his shoulder like, should he leave Joshua here and fly off and let you guys survive in the circle?
Go.
Or do you want...
Go.
Okay. He drops down Joshua in the middle of the circle that is being placed down. And then he gets up and flies outwards through the tunnel, seemingly escaping the darkness. Talia, you have to jump inside of the circle as Holgir finishes making a circle. And you are now standing on a gray circle in the middle of complete darkness. Joshua is laying on the ground. Holgir and Jack are standing next to you. And you look around for Connor, and he did not jump in the circle with the rest of you.
Well, I guess we know how much we can count on that guy. So what's the plan here? Start hacking this stuff or what?
I don't have much crystal left.
I'm going to say you used up all of it in order to do that.
I have no crystal left. Fuck.
Talia, have you fucked this shit before?
No, I haven't.
Do you know what this is?
No, I do not.
That Connor guy, was he a friend of yours?
Yes.
Do you think he knows what this stuff is? Did we see which direction Connor took off in, or did he just disappear on us?
He stayed standing still and
Is he
didn't
still in
attempt
sight?
to jump inside the safe circle because he knew that there wasn't going to be enough room.
So we can still see him?
No, he got washed over
He
by the
didn't, like,
darkness.
take off anywhere?
Well, yeah, but is there not just a dark shadowed lump of Connor?
No,
I
there is
will-
just
I
complete
will,
darkness. It's just black except for the circle that you're standing in. There's no semblance of light, there's no shadow, no reflection, no texture of anything at all. Just black.
Can I try to message where he was standing before?
You send the message out.
Ask him if
the-
he's doing okay.
what message do you send?
Are you okay?
Connor, make me a D20 roll.
Straight D20, correct?
Just a straight D20.
15.
You are back in that dark room. And somehow it seems even less friendly than it was the first time. It seems more foreboding, as if you understand why this place is dark now. The darkness that surrounds it isn't just the vagueness or lapse of memory or, the lack of detail that you're imagining it. You understand that this place is dark because that's what it is. Where it is dark. And that's how you remember it. In this memory of this place, it is barely light enough for you to be able to see and understand it in order to traverse it. But you understand that this place doesn't exist anymore.
Connor would try and traverse it to the best of his ability.
Okay.
And
There is
he's going-
a general stage where their beliefs used to hold something that was being observed. There is a platform that steps down from it with doorways to either side, and then stepping across there seems to be a raised platform with instruments and machinery and technology set up in some sort of observation way.
Do I recognize any of the instruments or machinery?
All of them look inoperative and vague, as if they're simply memory fragments of this place. They don't seem like actual usable equipment.
Connor will head to the doorway and reach for the handle.
The doors are open. The doors are not locked but through them is just this sort of empty darkness that you know is just sort of the edge of your memory.
Alright. Connor's going to do something that, with his fractured memories and that he can gather, he's going to try and find, as corny as it sounds, a light switch to turn on the lights. Let the light in, you know? Try and
Make an intelligence check.
intelligence.
I will allow a wisdom check if that's better.
Yeah, I'll do a wisdom check.
Okay. Just because this is mind stuff, so.
I'm going to do a luck point.
Okay.
Let me mark out my luck point real quick. I got a 10. But yeah, I have a 10. I got a 10.
Okay. There is no light switch.
Connor will call out and be like, "Is anything here? Hello?"
Your voice does not travel farther than your own thoughts. There is no echo. There is no response.
Connor just kind of gets into a fetal position. He's like, "Alone again. Alone again."
And that's when you hear the voice of Jack as he says, "What was it? Are you okay?"
Yeah. You okay?
Connor responds, "Lonely. Always lonely."
Then you'll hear another message come to you saying, any chance of escape?
Sorry, what was the message again?
Is there any chance you can escape?
And Connor look around to see if there is a way to get out, even though he really doubts it.
You get the idea that the main way to enter and exit is from what used to be on the stage, but there is nothing there. You don't know exactly how you get here or leave whenever you make it to the next destination, but you do know that you don't have to be alone.
Connor responds, "Probably, but I don't have what I need to get out."
Connor, from your standing position, you see that there is a thread on the ground, but it's not the sort of luminescent, glowing thread. It's dark, black, and it's not taut. You'll have to pull it, but you can reach out, and it is tangible, and you can pull on it.
Connor pulls on it. He's like, "Well, I guess it's just me in the space again, so let's see what's on the end of you, shall we, my friend?" And he gently pulls on the thread, trying not to, break it.
Jack, you feel a tug, but not in any physical direction, not forward, backward, left, right, up, down. But you do feel a tug in a direction. Do you follow it?
That would mean having to leave the circle, wouldn't it?
Indeed.
Could I pull it back toward me?
Make a religion check.
Not my best, but let's see what happens. Looks like an 11.
Connor, the string goes taut.
I tug on it a little more, trying not to break it, but makes it a little more firmer now.
Yeah, you give it a little bit more tension. Jack, that tension gets stronger, as if something is gently but intentionally pulling you.
Okay, then I'm going to start pulling back on it and gently reeling it in like a fish. And hoping that he's smart enough to come, or I'm going to message him, come to me, I can't come to you.
Make another religion check, then, Jack, if you're trying to pull it back.
That's a 10.
You're able to stay your ground, so you can actively choose not to be pulled by this force, but I'm gonna say that you are unable to do the opposite to it. You're not able to. You're able to resist, but not like fight back to the point where you can actively pull against it. But Connor,
Well,
you
I'm
understand.
hoping he's smart.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he's smart enough to realize that the connection is there, but I'm not going to come to him. He's going to have to come to me.
Okay. And yeah, you can actively say that to Connor.
And I will do so in a message.
Connor decides to follow the thread to Jack.
Okay. After a moment, Connor is now standing amongst all of you. Just suddenly standing there between all of you. And it kind of catches you all by surprise, and a lot of you have to suddenly grab onto each other as there's not much space in this circle, but Connor is now with you.
Is he normal? Well, normal for Connor, anyway.
No. He seems like a... Man, it feels bad to say like shadow version. I guess a better way of describing him is like a negative. And you can see through him. He's transparent. And there is sort of like dark flecks slowly drifting off and away from him. Let you know that this is not physically him, but a representation of him.
Do I have any more of those crystals? Just like one in my pocket.
I'll say that you maybe have like some dust, but not any like solid rocks that you can stab him with.
No, I just wanted to see if he could touch it.
Connor can't touch anything in this form.
Oh, nice.
Connor isn't taking up any physical
Try
space. In
blowing
fact, he's literally standing through some of you, since you're having to be like back to back in this circle right now.
Connor,
Hmm?
does it hurt?
He looks at his hand and is like, why would it hurt?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Are you hurt?
I'm not hurt, but I mean, you're the one who's Mr. Shadow Man.
I guess that's true. I keep forgetting people get hurt. I gotta ask. But I don't feel hurt. Connor just looks at everyone else to see if they are hurt.
I wonder.
Connor, make a history or an intelligence check.
I'll make a history because that's a +3.
Okay.
Do you guys think that
7.
maybe...
Okay. You don't know what form this is, but you do know that you can't actually come back to this world because there's not much of this world left at all, and this Connor doesn't exist anymore.
I
Oh,
regret to inform you, the world's fading, or this one is, and the Connor of this one is sadly faded as well, like many, many others. Would I know a way to help them get out of this situation, like basically pull them out from here and put them somewhere else?
I mean, for a moment there it seemed like you could have brought them into that place that you always escape to, but Jack wanted you to come back here.
Oh, damn.
Connor,
Hmm?
what are the odds that there's a shadowy crystal? Well, you weren't actually there, but in the prison complex, there was a crystal that we originally touched that
I know
Wait,
of it.
hang on.
It's a crystal that you touched. It exploded. And next thing you knew, you ended up in the multiverse. Out of your own worlds. Is that right?
Yes. I can't remember if it's my memories or his memories, but
Connor would just
I'm
put his, ghostly hands on his shoulders and be like, Jack, I'm going to give you a very important piece of advice when it comes to merging memories with other versions of yourself. Are you ready?
don't think about it too hard.
Don't give a shit about it, man. Trust me. I have thousands of versions of myself that I look at every other day. And eventually you just stop giving a shit. So, my advice to you, just stop giving a shit about it right about now.
Right. Well, my theory is potentially that there's an... We originally touched that crystal and it exploded. My question, thus summoning this. My question is it possible that the crystal is still there, it's just shrouded by whatever the fuck this is?
Would Connor vaguely know if it's possible or not? Like, if it's possible or not possible?
I'm curious as to how he even knows about these crystals to begin with.
Connor feels a strange
Other than like
kinship.
the party originally told you, I suppose.
Well, they scattered across planes, and him being like a multi-planar entity, I guess he would sense like a weird.
Make a history check with disadvantage. See if any other Connors have come across this.
Disadvantage, correct?
Disadvantage, that's correct.
That's a 14.
No. It's extremely odd that you've never come across these crystals. almost as
Weird.
if it's on purpose. Also, Holger and Jack, you knew that those crystals exploded. And then the darkness came. So those crystals don't exist anymore. Also, Talia, as you are sitting here in this darkness, you can feel the connection to the sea, the ocean, your home, and your father, the deity that you're connected to, slowly but surely fading away as you all are just sitting here.
We gotta get out of here somehow.
I don't know how.
Connor, now
Yes?
that you are in this world, yourself being semi-transparent, you can see that there is an outline to each and every person. And it's almost as if it is something physical and tangible that you can reach out and grab hold of. And it's similar to that black tether that you had back in that room that you were in.
Connor would turn to Talia and reach out and try and touch the thread that the outline that he sees. He
Okay.
tries to pull on it.
Yeah, whenever you try to touch their physical bodies, you just sort of pass through them like a ghost. But when you reach for this thread, you grab a hold of them, and Talia, you turn and look up as if you are being held in some weird fashion. But you look up and see just the weird ghostly version of Connor.
Would I know what this thread is?
Make a religion or insight check.
Insight? 25.
Of what?
At 25.
For
Insight.
insight. You get the idea that this is something that contains the person. This is not just an abstract essence of them, but this is literally what contains the essence of this person, and you are able to grasp a hold of it. And you get the idea that if you were to use it maliciously, you could literally undo someone by pulling this thread. But you can also simply grab a hold of them and pull. And draw them back with you.
Connor will start grabbing all their threads. Holgear, Jack, Josh, all of them in the circle. Grabs all their threads.
They're dragging around like a bunch of balloons.
Say again?
You'd be dragging
Like
them
a
around
bunch
like
of
a kid with
balloons.
a bunch of balloons.
Oh yeah. Then he starts.
Well, you all don't feel anything happen with your physical bodies, but you do understand that Connor has a piece of you whenever he reaches out and touches you. And then he has a thread from each of you in his hands. And what are you doing, Connor?
I'm going to see if I can take them to my side, to the room.
And you do so. In just a blink of an eye, you are all standing in this dark room, and you all look physical. There is this sort of like gray haze that covers everything that makes you feel like this place isn't real, or at least it's somewhere outside of the material plane. It's just kind of this kind of almost grainy kind of filter over your eyes as you look at everything. But you are in this room that Connor always seems to go back to. That seems disconnected from everything.
No shadow on the ground.
No shadow on the ground. There is no light source, but you can sort of make out everything.
Any mysterious armored man's gonna come stab us in the chest with a displacing sword?
No, This doesn't feel like a dream. This feels like
Oh, nice.
a physical, real place. And this is what Connor used his wish for. This is his own demiplane. It is a paracosm, his mind palace, if you will. This is a room that is significant
Fortress
to
of
him.
Solitude.
What?
My Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
Wait, he got a wish?
Yeah, you got
For
a
my
birthday
birthday.
wish.
Oh, that wish.
Mm-hmm. Paracosm would probably be the best way to describe it, which is literally, well, I guess Mind Palace also works, but usually Mind Palace is when you're attempting to remember something. So, does everyone know what a Mind Palace is?
I just imagine
Yeah.
persona.
Basically, it's like when you think of your family home, and then like whenever you want to remember something, you remember like, okay, so this step is like my birthday, and like this step of the stairs is my dog, and this step of the stairs is my grandma. You know, by physically walking through this place in your mind, you can remember stuff. That's what a mind palace is, and some people use it a lot because it really helps them remember things. I don't think like that. I'm not a visual thinker, so I can't remember stuff like that. But a paracosm is a specific thing that you make with your mind where you sort of make up your own world, and sometimes it is like a whole planet, sometimes it's just a room, but it's usually kind of like a house that you like go to live in, where, you know, when you're subconscious, like when you sort of drift off to sleep, or like a recurring thing. Anyways, it's fun and interesting mind stuff, but yes, you are all in this room, you are safe, and I believe that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Let's go. We destroyed a reality.